Welcome to Rauta. This video is done in commercial collaboration with our sponsor, Steelfest. Hey, and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. This time we go all the way to France with a band called Deliverance. This is a curious case because, first of all, it's been out there for over 10 years and done a few albums, but the style is not your typical one. Here on Metal Archives it says for the genre as sludge slash black metal, but I would, I guess, go with post-black metal because that's, in my opinion, accurate enough to describe you the third album called Neon Chaos in Junksic Dawn. That's quite a title, quite a weird name for that. Now, I haven't been listening to the previous album, so I really can't compare to that. I at least don't have any kind of recollection that I would have listened to the previous one, so I'm not going to compare you this one. Now, unfortunately, because I'm still in Spain, I don't have the CD for you to unbox, or unbox for you, that is, so let's just focus on the music. Now, this comes with 6 tracks only, and the length is still more than 60 minutes, which is going to explain to you by lengthy tracks. I mean, there are a couple of tracks which are almost 20 minutes a piece, which is roughly said too much. The thing here is, this is combining you kind of a traditional black metal riffs to parts which are more like modern or crossover black metal ideas, and then some spoken samples, clean vocals, and what have you. It's kind of a mess, a kind of a mixed bag of goodies, and not all of them are gonna taste good. But still, this is overall on the plus side of things because of the good material within. Now, if you're allergic to any kind of a black metal crossover thing, be it with sludge or post-black metal or any kind of a modern take of black metal, and you want to kind of go with the second and first wave of black metal being the traditional type, this is probably not for you. I'm gonna say it out loud because it needs to be addressed. If you're looking for a typical black metal release, this is probably not your cup of tea. However, if you have an open mind and if you're curious about ideas that can go like overflowing from the cup known as black metal, and you don't mind a little bit post that or whatever crossover things, you might actually enjoy Deliverance with their third album because this is in fact quite of a good thing. Now, as I mentioned, a couple of those songs are way too lengthy, and overall it feels like this is an album that could have had the fat trimmed off. I would say roughly remove 1/3, or even more maybe, and then you would have rather good of an album. Now it feels like there's way too much extra on it, and some of the ideas just go overflowing without any kind of a real purpose. For example, there are lots of parts where it's just the spoken samples, while interesting at first when you're actually paying attention to what's being said, it's not musically that good. There are plenty of ideas which probably from an artist point of view are fun to execute and fun to include, but from a listener point of view it's more like, yeah, you're doing art for yourself, which is not the same thing as entertainment for us others. The point here is, some of these ideas are like way too much. It's like, as it's almost like, you have some artists which are just like trying to include all the wild ideas that go through their heads. And while it might be fun and inspirational for the artist itself, for the audience, it's more like, yeah, we don't want to see that lunatic side of yours. Just put the good stuff in the bag and give it to us. Don't include all the wild and weird ideas, which definitely don't belong into your painting, album, whatever you are going to take. It's almost like a comic book, or I don't know, even a regular book, with text and all. And you're like, hey, this story is pretty interesting, but how on earth there is this ugly picture of his mom's butthole in the middle of it? Well, it has nothing to do with the story. And even if it has, I want to read about things, not take a look at these ugly family photos or whatever. So it's more like having these weird ideas which don't really fit the whole thing, the whole bill. And that's my problem with this particular album. Mind you, they're not big problems, but it's almost like you're ordering this big bowl of salad and you're just gonna remove some of the contents because you're not a fan of it. Maybe they're olives, maybe they're onion pieces, maybe you order a fish salad and you don't really like the tuna bits. The point here is, some of them you might like everything within, but some of you are just going to be way too picky in order to like this album to the full. So lots of good ideas, but some rotten pieces here and there which don't really fit in, and that's, in my opinion, definitely on the minus side of things. That being said, 62 minutes is a bit of an overload, but if you can handle it and you don't mind those ideas, well, then you're good to go. Definitely worth giving this a shot because it's actually pretty interesting. But like I said, if only the fat had been trimmed off, this would have been a lot better. Now it's definitely decent, but lacking something more interesting because of too much this and that. That being said, give it a go or give it not. The links are in the description box. I hope you like it, but if you don't, well, at least you've been warned. Thanks for checking out the review. See you soon. Bye bye.